There seems to be places in this world to which strangeness seems to navigate. Whether it's their geography or some inexplicable unseen forces, these locations possess what can only be described as a certain disconnect from reality as we know it. Freetown Fall River State Forest is a large swathe of forested land located at Freetown and Fall River, Massachusetts, with the bulk of the forest passing through the centre of the town of Freetown. The forest currently covers approximately 5,440 acres and has around 50 miles of unpaved roads and trails. The area has a history rife with friction between settlers and the native people who live there. The whole area originally belonged to the local Pocasset Wampanoag tribe, but over the years much of this land was acquired from them, beginning with the 1659 purchase of Freetown, which was subsequently incorporated as a town in 1683. Freetown State Forest is perhaps most well known for its intense amount of bizarre, unexplainable phenomena. The forest sits squarely within the infamous Bridgewater Triangle, a 200 square mile area within southeastern Massachusetts that's the epicenter of a mind-boggling array of inexplicable bizarre phenomena reported since colonial times, including strange creatures, Bigfoot, UFOs, black helicopters, mysterious orbs of light, strange disappearances, giant snakes, poltergeist activity, and cattle mutilations. One dark and mysterious place located within the forest is the murky Hockomock Swamp, a vast wetland which covers much of the northern part of southeastern Massachusetts. The swamp gets its name from the native Wampanoag people, and means place where the spirits dwell, believing it to be inhabited by both sinister as well as more kind, helpful spirits. Early settlers to the area quickly learned of the swamp's dangers and numerous alleged ghosts prowling its darkness, and called it the Devil's Swamp. The list of weirdness to be found within Hockomock Swamp encompasses everything from ghosts to UFOs to strange beasts lurking within its depths. Some of the creatures said to be spotted here are giant pterodactyl-like creatures, giant red-eyed dogs that attack ponies, and the glowing eyes of unseen creatures hovering in the darkness. There's also numerous reports of a shaggy ape-like creature within the swamp. Cannock Chase is a large, densely woodland area which has become known as the UK's most active paranormal hotspots. In recent times there have been reports of werewolves, UFOs, Bigfoot, British big cats, and ghosts by the local residents. Cannock Chase has long been popular with UFO enthusiasts. The MOD released previously top-secret files revealing the skies over Cannock had been the subject of investigations after reports of strange lights hovering above the town. Between 1988 and the early 90s, a raft of sightings led to the period being known as the Staffordshire Flap. The most significant event during that time happened on May 16, 1988. Evidence suggests two unidentified flying objects noticed by air traffic control at Birmingham Airport descended to a height of 1,000 feet. Dozens of witnesses, including police officers, watched in awe as the two shapes moved across the sky. The black-eyed child of Cannock Chase is a strange girl with black eyes sighted around Cannock Chase. A person who was flying a drone around the farmland of Cannock Chase during the daytime claimed to have captured one of these ghosts. Many say the ghost captured seems to be that of a girl in a white or grey dress, who many claim is the black-eyed child of Cannock Chase. Dudleytown, sometimes referred to as the Village of the Damned, was founded as a small settlement in Cornwall, Connecticut in the mid-1740s and was abandoned in the 1800s. The site, now overgrown with trees, is on private land and access is forbidden. The ruins of Dudleytown and the Dark Entry Forest are patrolled by the Dark Entry Forest Group, which prosecutes anyone who trespasses on the land. Hundreds of people have been arrested for visiting the site. Many early settlers of Dudleytown began to think the area was cursed. By the middle of the 20th century, everyone in the town had either died or moved away. It's a very thick forest with rocky terrain and sits in the shadow of three separate mountains: Bald Mountain, Woodbury Mountain, and the Coltsfoot Triplets. Because of the dense and tall woods, the forest has been given the name Dark Entry Forest. The land is not officially located in Connecticut State Forest, but sits on private land near the Mohawk State Forest and Mohawk Trail. The area is also known for a large collection of orbs, unexplained lights, and bizarre sounds. Located at the base of Mount Fuji, Aokigahara is perhaps the most infamous forest in all of Japan. In addition, there are many other ghost and demon stories associated with the forest. It's said that these ghastly spirits glide between the trees with their white shifting forms, occasionally being spotted by unsuspecting visitors at the corner of their eyes. Japanese spiritualists believe that the suicides committed in the forest have permeated Aokigahara's trees, generating paranormal activity and preventing many who enter from escaping the forest depths. Complicating matters further is the common experience of compasses being rendered useless by the rich deposits of magnetic iron in the area's volcanic soil. Due to the vastness of the forest, visitors are unlikely to encounter anyone once inside the so-called sea of trees, so the police have mounted signs reading "Your life is a precious gift from your parents," and "Please consult the police before you decide to die" on trees throughout. Legend has it that in ancient times families would abandon people in the forest during periods when there was not enough food to go around. By sacrificing family members to the forest, there would be less mouths to feed, and therefore enough food for the rest of the family. Those abandoned in the forest would die long, horrible, drawn-out deaths due to starvation. Because of that, Aokigahara is also said to be haunted by the souls of these abandoned people. This does not deter determined people from committing suicide in this dense forest. Annually, about 70 corpses are found by volunteers who clean the woods, but many are forever lost in the very thick woods. Nearly as unfortunate as the suicides themselves is the impact the suicides have on locals and forest workers. One local man says, "It bugs the hell out of me that the area is famous for being a suicide spot." A local police officer said, "I've seen plenty of bodies that have been really badly decomposed, or been picked at by wild animals. There's nothing beautiful about dying in there. It's really a shame that such a unique and interesting forest has become tarnished by so many suicides." The forest workers have it even worse than the police who comb and investigate the forest. The workers are tasked with the job of carrying the bodies down from the forest to the local station, where the bodies are put in a special room used specifically to house suicide corpses. The forest workers then play rock, paper, scissors to see who has to sleep in the room with the corpses. The reason for these strange sleeping arrangements is that it's believed if the corpse is left alone, it's very bad luck for the ghost of the suicide victim. Their spirits are said to scream throughout the night if left alone, and their bodies will get up and shuffle around searching for company. Japanese authorities discontinued publishing exact suicide numbers in order to avoid making the place even more popular. North Sentinel Island is one of the Andaman Islands in the Bay of Bengal. It lies to the west of the southern part of South Andaman Island. North Sentinel Island is unique because it's surrounded by coral reefs and lacks natural harbours. For this reason, the area was never settled by Europeans and deforested. The island is almost completely covered in old-growth trees. Due to the isolation, North Sentinel Island has become home to the last pre-Neolithic tribe. This tribe consists of 50 to 400 individuals. The group strongly reject any contact with the outside world. On January 26, 2006, 2 men were illegally fishing for mud crabs near North Sentinel Island when they were attacked and killed. The Indian Coast Guard attempted to recover the bodies using a helicopter, but they were met by a hail of arrows. It was reported that the fishermen's bodies were buried in shallow graves and not roasted and eaten. When a Hindu convict escaped in 1896, he drifted 30 miles on a makeshift raft and washed up on North Sentinel. A search party found his body a few days later on a beach, punctured by arrows and his throat cut. Other unintentional encounters include on August 2, 1981, a Hong Kong freighter navigating the choppy waters of the Bay of Bengal ran aground on a submerged coral reef. The ship called Primrose was hopelessly stuck. The crew stayed on their boat for a few days. When they saw native people advancing towards their ship armed with spears, bows and arrows, the captain made a distress call via radio and the crew were airlifted to safety by helicopter. During the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami, North Sentinel Island was greatly damaged. The tsunami sank some of the surrounding coral reefs and raised others. The coastline of the island was completely demolished. The fishing grounds were disturbed, but the tribe has since adapted to the current conditions. They maintain an essentially hunter-gatherer society, obtaining their substances from the forest through hunting, fishing and collecting wild plants. Their agricultural practices and methods for producing fire are currently unknown. The tribe's weaponry consists of javelins and a flatbow. They've even been known to use untipped arrows for warning shots. Their food consists primarily of plants gathered in the forest, pigs and other wildlife. So that was 5 forest mysteries from around the world. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe for more countdown videos.